Hi, friends. It's time for story time. So let's sing our story time song, okay? It's time for a story. It's time for a story. Open up, open up. It's time for our story. It's time for our story. Open up, open up. So today we are having a second read of one of the stories that we've already read for the ball study. I'm going to show you the vocabulary words and I want you to try to guess which story it is we're reading, okay? The first word is goose. Very good. The next word is baseball. Very good. The next word is, can you see that picture? Mop. Nice. And the last word is broom. Hmm, which story do you think we're reading, friends? Yes, we are reading. This is the second read of The Little Red Hen. So I remember a little bit of what the story was about, but I need you to help me, okay? So the title is The Little Red Hen. What happened in the story? Let's take a picture walk and see if you can tell me what happened. So who are these people? Yes, I see a goose, a dog, a cat, and a little red hen. And they are all what? They are all friends. The dog liked to play with balls, and the cat liked to groom itself, and the goose liked to what's that word? When you talk all the time about different things and different people. Gossip. The goose was a gossip. Very good, friends. And what did the little red hen have to do all the time? She had to do all of the work all by herself all of the time. You're doing a good job of recalling the story. One day she found some grain and she tried to get her friends to help her, but what did they tell her? Not I. They were too busy. So the little red hen did what? All of the work. Always did all the work. And then she did all this work. She planted the seed. It grew into wheat. She took it to the mill to be ground, and then she decided to make some. Yes, she decided to make some bread. And she asked her friends for help, but did they help her? Look at those friends. Nope, they were too busy. But she made her bread anyway while she's cleaning. Look at her with the broom, doing all of the work. Then she took her bread out of the oven and it was all done. And she asked her friends, "Would you like some bread?" And what did they say? This time they say, "Yes, we do." But did the little red hen share with them? Mm-mm. She said, "No, no, no. I'm not sharing with you because I had to do all the work by myself, and so you can't have any of my bread." But the next time, when she asked for help, her friends, what? They helped her. So let's read the story, and then Miss Charles is going to ask you some questions, okay? So the little red hen. Great job recalling the story, friends. Kiss your brains. Very good. The Little Red Hen by Bonnie Dopkin. Once upon a time, there were four friends who lived together in a barnyard. First, they lived in a barnyard. A dog, a goose, a cat, and a little red hen. The dog was a lively pup who liked to play all day. "After all," he said, "who would chase balls and do tricks if I don't?" The cat was a handsome animal who liked to groom himself. "After all," he said, "who would take care of my good looks if I don't?" The goose was a talkative bird who liked to gossip. "After all," she said, "who would share the news of the day if I don't?" And the little red hen, she just liked to figure out what needed doing, and she did it. So she said, "Oh, let me think of what. Oh, I need to go and clean up. Let me do it." One day, the four friends decided to move together to a cozy cottage near the river. They were very happy there. The dog played all day in the big front yard. The goose waddled to the farmyard each morning and always came back with new stories to share. The cat washed himself on the sunny windowsill, and the little red hen, she cleaned the house, worked in the garden, cooked the food, and did whatever else needed to be done. So the little red hen was almost like the parent or the guardian. She did all of the work. Like your parents have to cook for you and take care of you, and hopefully you help your parents sometimes. One afternoon, the little red hen swept out the shed and found a bag of wheat seeds. Excited, she brought the bag to the cottage. Look what I found, she said. Who will help me plant these seeds so that we can have wheat to bake some bread? Not I, said the dog. I have to play with my stick today. Not I, said the cat. I have to groom my fur today. Not I, said the goose. I have to talk to the cow today. She has some news about the goat. So she asked them to help, and they said, no, not I. All right, said the little red hen, then I'll plant the seeds myself. And she did. She hoed the ground and planted the seeds and watered them well and pulled the weeds. I hear some rhyming words, seeds and weeds. Soon a fine patch of wheat was growing tall in the sunlight. The wheat is ready for harvest, said the little red hen. Who will help me harvest it? That means you have to pull it up out of the ground so that you can use it. Not I, said the dog. I have to bury my bone today. Not I, said the cat. I have to smooth my whiskers today. Not I, said the goose. I have to visit the pig today. He says there's a scandal with the sheep. All right, said the little red hen, then I'll harvest the wheat myself. And she did. She cut the wheat, then gathered and tied it up in bundles she stacked outside. Look at that little red hen. She's doing all of the work, and her friends are just on the porch, not helping. Now the wheat must be ground into flour, said the little red hen. Who will help me pull the wagon to the miller? Not I, said the dog. Today is the day I chase rabbits. Not I, said the cat. Today is the day I clean my between my toes. Not I, said the goose. Today is the day the goat said he'd tell me a secret about the cow. All right, said the little red hen, then I'll pull the wagon myself. And she did. She cleaned the wagon and loaded the wheat and went to the miller's down the street. I hear more rhyming words. Wheat and street are rhyming words. So there she is, going to the miller, pulling that heavy wagon all by herself. The next morning the little red hen was ready to bake. Who will help me make the dough? She said. Not I, said the dog. I'm busy chasing my tail. Not I, said the goose. The dust might make it hard for me to talk. Not I, said the cat. The flour would muss my clean fur. All right, said the little red hen. Then I'll make the dough myself. And she did. She gathered up eggs, milk, yeast, and flour, then mixed and kneaded them for nearly an hour. I hear more rhyming words. Flour and hour are rhyming words. Look at the little red hen. She's working so hard all by herself. Now, said the little red hen, though she already knew the answer, who will help me bake the bread? Not I, said the dog. It's time for me to take a nap. Not I, said the cat. I really must get my beauty sleep. Not I, said the goose. I absolutely must rest my voice. All right, said the little red hen. Then I'll bake the bread myself. And she did. She built the fire, a difficult chore, and slid the pan through the oven door. She cleaned the mess that the baker had made and finally went out to rest in the shade. Here's some more rhyming words. Chore and door, maid and shade. There she is, cleaning away. Her friends not helping. Mm-mm-mm. I hope I don't ever have any friends like that. As the afternoon wore on, the wonderful aroma of baking bread drifted through the cottage. It tickled the noses of the napping dog, the sleeping cat, and the resting goose. They sniffed, they smiled, they opened their eyes. "What is that heavenly smell?" asked the goose. "Why, it's just my fresh baked bread," said the little red hen. "Who will help me eat it?" "I will," said the dog, jumping up from his rug. "I will," said the cat, leaping down the window sill. "I will," screeched the goose, forgetting to rest her voice. Look at them. They're like so excited. Like, yes, look at that bread. It looks so delicious. "You will?" asked the little red hen. "But you let me do everything else. I hoed the ground and planted the seeds and watered the well and pulled the weeds. I cut the wheat, then gathered and tied it up in bundles I stacked outside. I cleaned the wagon and loaded the wheat and went to the miller's down the street. I gathered up eggs, milk, yeast, and flour, then mixed and kneaded for nearly an hour. I built a fire, a difficult chore, and slid the pan through the oven door. I cleaned the mess that the baking had made, and then, only then, did I rest in the shade. So, do you know what? I think I'm going to eat this bread myself." And she did. She, friends, look at all those words. That's all the stuff the little red hen did all by herself. That's a lot. So she didn't share with her friends. They looked disappointed. But, you have to be good helpers sometimes, and then you can get rewarded. But the next time the little red hen needed help around the house, nobody said, "Not I." So look, now they're helping. Friends, why do you think that the goose, the cat, and the dog decided to help at the end? From now on, they helped the little red hen. Why do you think they did that? I think that they helped the little red hen because they learned a lesson. They learned that you should help people. And if you do, then when you're kind to someone, they will be kind to you. So if they help the little red hen, the next time that she makes bread, then she will share with them. Okay? So I want to ask you some questions, all right? Um, where did the little red hen live with her friends? First, they lived in the barnyard, then they moved. Where did they move to? Um, what did the goose like to do when she was talking all the time, talking about the things that were happening throughout the day? What was that called? What's that word? It starts with the g sound. And why was the little red hen angry when she was telling them, "I do this and I do that"? Why was she angry? Do you know why she was angry? I would have been angry too if I had to do everything around the house by myself. All right, friends, I hope that you enjoyed the second read of The Little Red Hen. This is our last story for a few weeks. Remember, Miss Charles told you we will be on spring break until April 21st. So I will see you then. But remember, you can always come back to YouTube and watch our videos. All right, friends, take care. Talk to you soon.